That was a dainty little one.
Depending on how I edit, I could have kind of made oh yeah, oof, not dainty at all. You see, I could have had a little fun with that.
I did have vegetable soup, so
yeah,
I put cabbage and beans and okra.
And now oh man, I think I might just need to get my N95 mask just for that.
That's not something that I'm embarrassed by, for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on your upbringing. I mean, I'm embarrassed by it, but probably because my parents would have been embarrassed.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It's the Krisha and Frank show.
Hi.
We were talking about bodily functions, in case you haven't figured that out.
Yeah. I think people that listen and or watch would know that I burp so freely that I wouldn't be ashamed of the other. I
did, for one of the episode descriptions, I didn't want to write burp. So I looked up a fancy, I don't know if it's Old English, but a fancy synonym for burp. But I think it was erucate.
Erucate.
Something like that. Eruction.
Erucate.
A burp is an
Your
eruption.
esophageal erucation.
Something. I think that's it. It definitely had those letters in it. I might be missing a letter.
Okay.
But I was going through the archives not too long ago and copying and pasting them onto our website so that we got a message the other day from another person who has bailed out on Facebook.
Yes.
Our number of Facebook likes has dropped.
Because people are getting off of Facebook.
So we started up the website krishaandfrank.com so that you can find the YouTube links. I mean, you can obviously just go to YouTube,
right?
But at least you'll have a place.
But we're gonna have some more on there soon.
Yeah, two morons, in fact.
Two morons. But you can find us on YouTube, Krisha and Frank. We would love it if you subscribe, even if you don't watch every single episode, even if you just whatever you need to do, we would just like you to subscribe.
Please do.
Yeah.
And or listen to us as you do on the different podcasting apps. We've been plugging Audible Pod a lot lately because we got this affiliate marketing deal with Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank, not just to hear podcasts, but to hear well-known books.
And audiobooks, and there's a meditation book that I've been listening to.
Ooh, what is it?
Lately. It's like a beginner's guide to meditation, but it's from the Mindfulness Project, the same people from the book.
Yeah.
And the Mindfulness Project, and it's more of 5 to 7 minute meditations, but it's I told you about the watching ice melt meditation. Did I tell you about that?
I don't think so. If you did, I forgot. My mind froze over.
There's get an ice cube and watch ice melt, and that's all you do in that time, and you observe not only the thoughts that come by and the other things you think about, you acknowledge them, but you don't ruminate on them, but also you write down what you notice as the ice melts. I know it would make you insane, but
yeah, I mean, maybe I would finally chill watching ice, but
look at that.
I think we all know that I have no chill.
audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank. You get a 30-day subscription, and then you can choose to keep it at the end, but you do get to keep whatever audiobook.
My daughter listened to the 7 Habits of Effective People on Audible and then sent us a copy of it. And immediately I go to the 7 Habits of Ineffective People. I'm like, what's wrong with me? I got to stop doing those things.
Dang it.
I can't relax.
Speaking of not relaxing, I noticed a tell. I saw you, you were talking about archives, and I was going back to watch something for a project that you and I have coming up.
Yeah.
And
we're doing homework. We're doing show prep.
Right. Doing show prep. Weird. I never did that in my other job.
Well, you're an owner of the company now, so it's a different feel, isn't it?
It certainly is. I care. But you have a tell.
So this is me. What we looked for was an interview that I had done with a local businessman that we're supposed to meet up with on the Krisha and Frank show.
Mm-hmm. And
I thought, I think I met this guy 2 or 3 years ago. So I searched online and found it and sent you the link. But you've discovered.
And the whole show. I watched the whole show.
Not just the interview segment.
And you were on a panel talking with several other people.
I think my clever line that was... it's like The View, but with guys.
Yeah,
because everyone's talking at one time, and I was getting frustrated.
Which, I mean, just the idea of The View with guys.
That was me telling myself and telling everyone else, stop. Listen. You two were talking at the same time.
Right, but unfortunately,
knock it off.
Anyway, you're very good, and I actually when I watch our clips, I am very conscious of the fact that I am wiggly. I'm a wiggly
And you like to
person.
sit on your hands.
I sit on my hands.
You have a lot of times you have no hands. You're penguining.
Well,
on the show.
I put them in my lap because that's comfortable for me, like shoulder wise.
Oh.
But you are you have very good posture. I do not. I don't even try to because that's just me.
Well, it's hard, and I didn't used to have good posture. I force it. In fact, when I look at the thing, I always think I could do better. But when I learned somewhere along the way is that when, I think it was Taz Cable who may have told me this, that the way to look good on TV is to be physically uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
to
the
be
thing.
so upright, so straight that it hurts.
Well, like if I were going to sit
Which
how
is
I
funny
want
to
to
talk,
sit,
say-
like I'm sitting like this, like that's, if you and I are just chilling, this is how I sit.
Yeah.
And I got one leg all cranked up. I don't know. I'm anyway.
Yeah.
But you keep your hands here.
I'm trying to be neutral. I mean, of course, I like to talk with my hands, so
Right.
as you can see, but I try to at least get them back to the neutral.
But your tell,
Is
you in this clip, your hands were like this, and it was getting uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable for me to watch.
oh,
And as I'm watching it, I see you.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I guess I'm doing it with you.
And then you caught yourself and you went. And you did a take to the camera. And then,
Did anybody else see that?
and then unfortunately, you could not be stopped because this hand started comforting this other hand like, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's going to be all right. You just lay right here. You take a little break. And then this finger started.
Oh, man.
And then you adjust and you're like, doo, doo, doo. And it's like you're Morse coding. Someone help me. Get me out of here.
Well,
Please.
the show got canceled, so I guess it worked.
But it's really funny to me because, like I said, I'm wiggly and I know I futz with my necklace and I'm like always messing with my hair and I'm just a wiggly person. I wish that I could not be, but
One of the things that helped me to stand still and be still was we did this exercise a long time ago with Einstein Simplified, the improv troupe. And I think we were still back at Patrick Sullivan's. This is maybe how long ago it was. And somebody had complained that we're always fidgeting when we're standing on the back line. And we did, it's
Right.
true. But you don't perceive it in real time.
no.
So they made a video of us and then showed it to us as sped up. And we look like a bunch, rats on cocaine, you know,
Right.
like in an experiment at the
Right.
lab, you know. And so I thought, well, you know what? I will take this to heart. That's the best way to learn is to when you see yourself and you're like, I don't want to look like that.
Right.
So now if you were to watch an episode, or
An episode.
if you were to watch, because that's really the only way you can see these old
Yeah.
improv shows is on YouTube.
True.
If you were to find one of these old shows on YouTube and I'm not in the scene and it's one of those ones where we're all lined
Like
up waiting,
backline,
waiting to step forward and do a joke, I, generally speaking, am just solid, weight evenly distributed on both feet and hands in a neutral position, and I'm just waiting.
You know what's really funny? I don't have that problem on stage. I'm not fidgety. I'm not wiggly. I know there are times in an improv scene where you have to be energetic.
Oh, yeah.
But if
Because
I'm
you're giving a cue to everyone else in the scene.
if I'm backline or if I'm on stage performing, I have zero problem standing, weight on both feet. For me, it's sitting. My energy is not evenly distributed where I need it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a get up and goer.
I'm a mover and a shaker.
Is that a British insult? She's a goer.
She's a goer. But so we were talking about the fact that you have no chill.
Like it's hard. It is hard for me to sit. I used to have a stand-up job in radio.
Yeah.
And that was, I got to pace and
I hardly ever sat when I did.
yeah. In fact,
Over.
I hate to say this, but I think I've gained more weight since losing that job because I'm not standing around.
Yeah, because you burn more calories like just moving.
It's much better to stand than sit.
But we've talked several times on the show about you having no chill. But you asked me, you're like, what do people do to relax?
You look at ice cubes?
Well,
I can't. What am I going to look at ice cubes?
When I got here the other day, you were like, oh, I feel so much better now that you're here because I get in my head and
It's true.
And I'm like, but what are you stressed about that I'm not going to show up? That...
No. I'm stressed about things that have nothing to do with you and nothing to do with the show.
Oh.
And now that you're here and we're doing the show, I'm free of everything else.
I was asked recently, what do normal people feel like when they wake up and they're not full of anxiety? Like, I don't think people like that exist.
They must. I don't know, but yeah, you lay there in bed and go, what do I have to do? What should I be doing? I always have that feeling that I should be doing something else. And when I'm doing a show, whether it's on stage or whether it's on podcast or YouTube, even the show where I had that nervous tell that I should be doing,
You should be doing, like,
I still want to be there, and I still like. Right now I don't feel any pressure that I need to be worried in doing something else.
Right.
I can focus on the conversation.
but when you're left to your own devices,
I always feel like I'm not doing enough.
yeah, I don't wake up with like a overwhelming sense of dread, but like I do this weird, I told you my sleep patterns are weird, and that's what I need to figure out is getting better sleep.
You know what an analogy for deep sleep is? Sawing wood. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's sawing logs.
Yeah, he's snoring. He's sawing logs over there. And maybe that's why the folks at Steve's Tree Service are such sound sleepers.
Maybe. I would sleep well if I were sawing logs.
That's hard labor.
Well, they've been in business for over 20 years, so they must be getting good sleep.
Yeah. They get the top ratings, 5 stars on Facebook, Yelp, and Google. That's the easiest way to find them, but we can give you their phone number. Obviously, it's across the bottom, 865-257-6214.
And you can find them on the Facebook if you're not one of the people that's given up Facebook yet.
Right, and that picture that I have that it just goes, Steve. I did that as a joke one time.
It's awesome.
This is now the 3rd time I've used it.
Yeah.
Because I just thought it was funny. I found, I was clicking around in the photo editing app and I found this thing that's like, I couldn't help myself.
But the thing about them is you have experience with them as a customer before they were sponsoring the show. And, we talked about the fact that they're known for their cleanup. And I think that is such a huge and integral part of it because when you get all of this work done, it is a lot.
I'll tell you, there's a house in our neighborhood that used a different tree company, and it still looks like a war zone. It still looks like that 1917 movie.
Yeah, man,
with the trenches.
That was a movie. Whew.
But that's what it looks like on that yard over there.
Just twigs and bunkers,
holes, and they did it. They didn't hire Steve. So I'm like, you hired the wrong company. Clearly,
you did. So it's
but
Steve's
I
Tree
did
Service.
the right company.
Get them. They'll clean up. They'll make it great. And we've also talked about how they are really great with the seniors as well.
Yeah, it's all about taking care of people and taking care of your needs. So Steve's Tree Service, tell Renee and Steve that we said hello.
Hello.
I'm going to have them come back and probably do more stuff in the spring. I get excited.
Yeah. But you're not... Yeah, it's funny because I was talking about you with my friend Karis the other day.
She's lovely.
She's so lovely.
I've only met her a couple of times in person, but I mean, it's memorable.
She's good people.
Thank you for talking about me. That's sweet. I talk about you with everybody.
Oh, thanks. That's sweet. But we were talking about you, and I was talking about how we ended up doing this and me calling you and kind of going through a little bit of acts of redemption that I like you do when you've been an addict and you have to go back and you have to right your wrongs or whatever.
And you're not talking necessarily about substance abuse. You're talking about it could be but
no, I'm talking like a 12-step program. Part of it is
oh, I see. Yes, that's what you mean. Right. One of those steps is to make amends.
Make amends. And so I was on, and I'm on an amends journey. And I was telling her about that. And I said, it's funny because Frank is not an emotional person. But knowing Frank, you can see the emotions if they were to exist. That's what I told her. You have to know Frank
if he's doing this
to see you have to know him well enough to see where the emotions would be had he
had some.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more?
Well,
I'm tickled by this.
But I
Well, see, there he is at his mother's funeral, and that's where he would have gotten emotional if he could.
Right,
but he handled it very smoothly, like the master of ceremonies that he is.
He emceed. He knew what he was doing. He had it planned out. Had a couple jokes.
Big finish. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's such a coping mechanism, and I think that's why people get into comedy is because
absolutely
you have all these things that you're just like I suppress all of this. I'll get it out with laughter and jokery.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to me that you think that you can't relax. Like you're always on 11.
It does feel like that. I mean, we talked about this in an episode where we described Bill Sladen's funeral, and Dave, our friend Dave, was saying Frank has no chill because I was ready. I mean, I was kidding, but
oh man,
I was technically. You could have said I was just as ready to jump up and do a comedy scene at that funeral as anybody else.
Oh, seriously, that made my stomach go just thinking about like jumping up in a funeral.
All right. Can I get a noun? Other than casket, we already have that. Can I get another noun?
Right. But like, it's just, I don't know. And I've seen you mad. I've seen you mad. I've seen you mad at our previous jobs. I've seen you mad.
Yeah.
And man,
so that's an emotion.
That's an emotion.
It's a bad emotion. I don't like being mad.
See, that's the thing is I don't think that anger is a bad emotion. I think that if you let it overtake you and you don't acknowledge why you are angry and find some resolution, that it's bad. But anger is not a bad emotion.
Well, yeah, Mr. Rogers would tell you to go pound on the piano.
Yeah. Dance it out.
Well, I'm not going to dance it out. I mean, I'm worried about injuring myself.
I got laughed at the other day because somebody was like, hey, what are you up to? I was like, just finished having myself a dance party. I'm like, excuse me?
Anyone who knows you would be like, okay, that's normal. Because that is not in the least bit surprising about you. If I were to do that, it would be like, call 911. He's stroking out.
He smells toast. He's gone off.
Well, I mean, I think, one of my sisters who used to care for my mom has been calling me a lot more lately, and we've been talking. And I think
Is this the sister that also has no chill?
Yeah, see, I think in that case, believe it or not, I am the calm.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just saying she has no chill either.
But I think so. I think I'm just the sounding board, and I know this with my wife as well. She likes to call, and they just vent. And I have to remember sometimes I want to make jokes, I want to interject, I want to say whatever, but sometimes that's not called for. You just have to,
Sometimes you just have to be a funnel for somebody else's emotion.
So I guess that's chilling. I don't find it relaxing to do that. I don't find it relaxing to listen to someone vent.
But what about like when you go on vacation? But you guys are those people that go on vacation and you have every moment planned. We're going here, we're doing this, we're doing that. But like
there was a vacation we had, and I think I may have told you this a long time ago. I got aggravated because we didn't get to do any of the things that I wanted to do.
You're so 9.
I wanted to go.
I wanted to go.
I wanted to go to the carnival. I wanted to go to the North Sea Carnival, and we didn't go.
I ain't gonna go to the carnival. And now it's COVID.
And
I never go to carnival again.
And I wouldn't even ride any of those rides. There are these janky rides that, they are fold up.
You just gotta walk around and get the sugary goodness and listen to other people ride the rides.
For whatever reason, I wanted to go. Maybe the
it's
local radio station was probably doing a remote. And I thought,
hey, I might know somebody.
Maybe. You never know.
But, okay, do you ever just...
Yes, you're right. I'm trying to think of an example.
Have you ever gotten a cabin in the mountains and it's got a hot tub on the porch and beautiful views, no television, and you just sit?
I have not.
Could you?
I have never done that. Well, we did go to one time over at Fontana Village. We went and had a cabin over there. But the reason I thought it was so lovely is, have you ever been to Fontana Village?
I went because I worked in radio and I had a deal that I could go over there, and I had to go because I had to talk about it.
But it's like a camp.
It's cool.
So part of the beauty to me of Fontana Village is there's so much to do. Here's your coupon for your 1-hour boat ride.
But
here's your coupon for to go play on the to go to the pool, to go to the thing.
But to me, that's a relaxing act. To me, if I have roller skates and I take myself to the tennis courts at an empty place and I go roller skate for an hour, that is relaxing to me.
Okay, so that's terrifying to me, but
because it gets me out. So
I should be relaxing. Artie called me the other day and to do a survey of the family for school. Of these 3 hobbies, which would you prefer to do? It was reading, skating, or boating.
And you said reading.
Well, because he told me it was canoeing. I'm like, I don't want to canoe, but I would read. But then he showed me, then I looked at it. He said, wait, that's not a canoe. And he read it again. It said boating, and it was a rowboat. I said, I would pick boating. I would take the rowboat. Because I used to, as a child, take the rowboat out alone and I would just go out in the lagoon.
Let's get you a kayak.
No, rowboat was a little more normal.
No, I mean, like you can get you a kayak that's normal.
I don't want to sit in the water. A rowboat has a bench.
Okay.
I took my grandma fully dressed in over to see Clam Island in the rowboat one time.
Let's get you a rowboat.
I like rowboats.
You could go out to Melton Hill.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a racing rowboat that.
No.
It's like an old-fashioned dinghy.
Yeah,
it looks like it's a dinghy.
Right.
Anyway,
we have to wear big hats and take a picnic.
So I enjoyed it, and I enjoy floating in my pool. That's when the closest I come to chilling is I'm floating in my pool. Now my mind is still racing, and I'm thinking of everything, but I can close my eyes and do that.
Right.
So we're at Fontana Village. I have a coupon for a 1-hour pontoon boat rental.
Yes, those are the best.
It is the best. And here's how relaxed I was. I set an alarm on my phone for 28 minutes so that we would turn around and start heading back, because I wanted to make sure that I pulled it back into the dock at 59:59.
Oh, that pains me.
And I nailed it. I was like,
But like that's.
I don't mean hit the post like I crashed the boat. I mean, I slid it in right on time to the point where the guy looked at it and goes, because they expect to charge you. They expect you to
that's
take
the whole deal.
The whole point is you get out there and you love the free hour so much that you go 1 minute over and then have to pay for the whole next hour.
Yeah.
But I was not going to let that happen.
I get it. But that's like, to me, I don't think you have to abandon your sense of normalcy to relax. I think that you just have to stop, maybe just stop thinking that you don't know how to relax.
And think that I do know how to relax.
And just like let that, because sometimes it's the story that you tell yourself.
Yeah.
The story that I'm telling, Brene Brown has this whole thing that we put ourselves in these situations, and sometimes reality is not what you think it is. It's just the story that you're telling yourself.
Okay. I mean, I agree that if you have a goal in mind, when you set a goal, all the little decisions become clear along the way.
Yeah.
Like if your ultimate goal is to create a podcast and get more listeners and viewers, the little decisions along the way are self-evident. But I see your point. If your goal is to lose weight, the little decisions, which I guess I need to make that a goal, along the way become self-evident,
Yeah, thoughts become things. And so if your continuous thought is, I don't know how to relax, that's the story that you're telling yourself, and that's what you start to believe.
So tell myself that I do know how to relax.
Or just like, that was relaxing. Have one moment in a week where you go, well, that was actually relaxing. And it doesn't necessarily have, like, to me, relaxing doesn't mean sitting and doing nothing and contemplating life. Relaxing is something that makes you feel good and that is not in your typical, like when you go for a walk, I'm sure it relaxes you. You know,
You want to go for a walk and see?
I've talked to you on the phone. I know it doesn't. Yeah.
Well, let's wrap this one.
The story that I'm telling myself is we got to get out of here.
We're coming back tomorrow with the Friday show. And thanks so much for watching us on YouTube, for listening on any of the podcast apps, for telling your friends, especially the ones who have given up on Facebook. Like I've talked about, we heard from our friend Rusty. He's off the Facebook.
It's a very common thing right now.
So tell somebody that they can still watch this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Send them to our website, KrishaandFrank.com, as I start to continue to update that with exciting new artwork and graphics.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I know.
What?
I know. I'm excited.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too. I meant you.
Oh.
Yeah, have a good day.
Well, I was talking to them.
You have a good day.